Now, the ANC is hosting a presidential gala dinner tonight. The gala dinner part of build-up activities towards the party's 6th National Policy Conference, which begins, of course, this week in Nasrec. Will be there throughout the rest of the week and the weekend as those crucial policy documents are discussed. Now, we have confirmed that the Deputy President, Didi Mabuza, is going to be late. Members of his convoy drivers drove into each other, we understand, but no injuries reported. Let's cross live now to SABC News political editor Mzwandile Mbeje. He will be attending the event. Mzwa, what more do we know? It sounds like there will be a bit of a late start tonight.
Well, Francis, it's already a bit of a late start. It was supposed to start at 7 o'clock sharp, but it didn't, though we can see that many of the dignitaries are here. We assume that perhaps that incident could have contributed to the delay, because it would appear that everyone else may be around, I'm sure. There's relief that it seems to be just the collision really that didn't cause any major damage, particularly to life. So in terms of the delay, yes, we are already delayed, Francis.
All right, so what is expected when this event gets underway, when the dinners are served?
Well, Francis, let me step out of the shot and just try to see if you will see some of the tables, because they're quite interesting. There's a table over there where the president will be sitting. In fact, the people who will be seated around the president, I think it's about 6 people. So that one, it's called titanium seats. So if you are in the table, it's titanium seats. So it means if you seated there, you must have paid 200,000 a seat. And then it can, I think, accommodate about 6 people. As for Deputy President, which is platinum seat, it also accommodates about 6 people. Also, it's 165,000 per seat. So you can see, and of course, you go down to a table then that will be characterized as gold seat, where when you seated there, it's about 95,000 rand. So you just go down and down and down. So you can see they are really trying to make sure that these tables are filled, and then they are able to raise funds, particularly as earlier we did speak about some of the staff not being paid. In fact, later on, if time permits, we will be speaking to the spokesperson of the ANC, who has basically said they have found a solution. So those people who were protesting outside will be paid. So we are not sure when that will happen, but somehow it would appear they've made efforts to make sure that they get paid.
Yeah, and that peaceful demonstration going on outside. So 200,000 rand, thanks for the price tag, Mzwai, for a seat at the table. The president is expected to address these delegates. So like you said earlier, he will be speaking to business. And there are lots of hot political issues in those policy documents. But what do you think he will focus on, or could he focus on tonight?
Francis, I'm sorry, I just wouldn't hear the question. Obviously, we are competing with a lot of noise here, and perhaps if you can just repeat, I'll just try to listen quite attentively.
Sure, we can hear the saxophone, I think. What is the president likely to say, Mzwai?
Oh, yes. No, I got you quite clear now. So, basically, other than speaking to business people, investors, to say, well, please put in some money into our kitty, he will also use this opportunity, Francis, to basically say, as the governing party, they're engaged in a program really to try and change the structure of the economy. In fact, if you've been listening to what the president has been saying every time he gets the opportunity to address gatherings of this nature, his speech is actually 70 to 80% economic. So in an event like this, which touches at the core of the economy, he will certainly repeat that message. He will be speaking about trying to make sure that they remove the red tape. He'll be speaking about trying to ensure that they are dealing with issues really around corruption. Remember, some of the difficulties that the country is facing right now is because some of the people they have sent to govern or to run those institutions, so they have been involved in corruption. So those are really the issues that have been problematic, and the president will certainly raise that. You know, Francis, I'm just going to steal the opportunity now. I see the spokesperson of the ANC coming in, so I'm just going to steal him to come so that I can put one or two questions to him, particularly around the workers who were protesting outside, or rather picketing. Mr. Mabe, we've just seen workers of the ANC at an important event like this, picketing, saying they are not paid, they are not happy. What are you doing as the ANC?
Well, we do understand and sympathize with our workers. We understand they applied fully. They didn't surprise us, Mzwandile. They made us aware coming to this policy conference that they will protest if their salaries would not have been paid at the time that we host this Presidential Gala Dinner. We can confirm to our employees that money started trickling in this afternoon. Unfortunately, they had not been cleared at the time. So we'll have to wait for them to clear, because sometimes donors don't use the same local bank as the African National Congress. We're hoping that once they are cleared in the morning, we will then start rolling over into our own employees, because we understand the devotion, the commitment, the dedication that our employees are giving to this organization, sometimes under very difficult conditions, and we must thank them for that.
Well, the monies that they'll be paid with, are some of them being raised from this event?
Well, no. This is what has already begun trickling into our account. What will come from this event, of course, will deal with some of our future. Remember, the ANC has got immediate obligations that it must fulfill coming out of this event. There will never be a time when the ANC says, we now have got sufficient monies, we are enough now, we can just run. The ANC depends on donations. And because of that dependency on donations, it means we've got to continue raising funds so that our program of sustaining the national democratic revolution is not compromised.
Are you not worried as the ANC now that the optics of this don't project a good story about the ANC? You are the governing party. You are not able to pay your own workers. You have been charged with the resources of the state to run this country. Can South Africans really trust people who can't get their immediate house in order?
Well, of course, they can trust us. Actually, it is good that our employees are using a platform such as this, because in our own organization, we had begun a debate around organizational redesign, an important debate on whether the ANC, under the current epoch, given the Political Party Funding Act, will it be able to sustain its programs, or it needs to look at other creative means and ways. Now, the employees coming here, in a way, they are also saying to members of the ANC, the leadership of the African National Congress, that this is also an important debate. You know what we said in 2020?
Okay, I hear you, Mr. Mabe. But the question is, the kind of the picture you are sending out there. Remember the ANC.
That's what I'm clarifying.
Yes.
That's what I'm clarifying, because you are asking us a very difficult question. You are asking us to take monies from taxpayers, deal with the very issue that was raised around state capture, and say we're taking this to now go and finance our political program. We are not going to do that. It will be irresponsible of us. We want them to know that we depend on donations, and that we are going to use the donation schemes effectively to be able to sustain the organization. We are not going to dip our hand into resources of the state because suddenly we want to win the trust of our people. We can't do that. We then have to say, if the problem is the size, if the problem is the organizational design, if the problem is the programs that we are driving as the organization, we have to apply ourselves to all of those things in totality and make sure that the plight of our people is never compromised. The ANC wants the people of South Africa to know that as a caring organization, everything it does, it takes its employees along, no matter how difficult conditions are. Imagine this. Imagine this. Imagine we decide.
Okay. Let me also have the opportunity. This is not the first time your employees are picketing. So it's actually been a number of months. So from today, is it the last time they are picketing, or next month will be faced with the same situation?
The ANC is not a bank robber. The ANC relies on donations. If the ANC was running a cash in transit heist, something like that, then it would say, no, we know the robberies we're going to be conducting in the next 2 months will give us enough. The ANC depend on the people. It is the trust of those people. Once we enjoy it, once the people renew their love and their trust and their confidence in the ANC, and they start to invest their resources, we will be able to sustain this organization of Nelson Mandela.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mabe. And of course, you heard the Pule Mabe saying the ANC relies on the people because those are the ones, those are the people who sustain it. I wonder if he's really worried by the fact that electorally, Francis, they are declining.
All right, thank you very much. Mzwandile Mbeje at Nasrec, and indeed, perceptions are crucial. That is a very peaceful demonstration, but highlighting the financial situation of the ANC. Many parties have said that they've been affected by a change in legislation whereby big donations are made public. Those donors are revealed. We'll see if those workers are paid imminently, as he said, and we do await the President's address a little bit later on.